Nerf Demon Hunter. It's time to quit the game. My favorite card has been nerfed. Everything is awful. It's quitting the game time. So when I first read this, when I first read a lot of things, I wanted to violently react to like a lot of things, like either being very happy or being very sad about things. And in all honesty, the reason why I decided not to make videos about 24.0 prior to it dropping and us having the ability to use 24.0, the reason why was literally this. So when I first read this, I thought it was really bad. And I thought that they were just like super nerfing Demon Hunter, because it reads really terribly. If all of the Demon Hunters present on the field are marked, the random ones will get the mark instead of whichever has the highest merge rank. Now, I read this as when you eat Demon Hunters with like a scrapper or something, or when you merge them, that those marks will just go to random Demon Hunters. That's not how it plays. Technically, they did say that. The Demon Hunter is an easy to use popular unit. Absorption of Evil allows increasing the unit's damage output passively without interacting with the battlefield. When they say that it activates passively without interacting with the battlefield, it's the idea that late game players don't do anything and they just use the bosses that they're killing in the mini bosses to feed into the biggest thing. But if you're actively playing, and that's the thing that they don't like the Corsair deck. The Corsair deck can just kind of sit there and do nothing, and it just works. What people were doing was with Demon Hunter, they were just relying on, bosses and mini bosses to play the game for them because they would constantly get marks. So, because all the marks would go to the most powerful thing would kill the boss, and it would just cycle like that. So what they instead decided to change was that whenever you kill a boss, if everything has a mark, then it will go to a random, like the next mark that when you kill a boss or mini boss, that mark will go to something random as opposed to always filtering into the base Demon Hunter, right? And that's not really a nerf. I never relied on that whenever I was playing. And so I played a Rush for Glory game, and I picked Demon Hunter. I just picked Absorption of Evil, and the person across from me decided to do Demon Hunter, but they're doing Twilight Hunting, which I can only assume is because everybody would read this as a nerf and be like, oh, Demon Hunter is so awful now. It's so terrible. It got nerfed. It's the worst thing ever. I'm just gonna use Twilight Hunting. And he doesn't do well. He doesn't do well with Twilight Hunting. I've always thought that Twilight Hunting was better, and it always confused me why Absorption of Evil was better, but I accepted the idea that Absorption of Evil is better, and I don't know. Like, I think this is the exact reason why I wanted to wait for all of the talents to, or for all of the, for the actual update to drop, so that when you play the unit, you can feel how the unit works in actual practice. And I think that there's a difference between that. I think like when they nerfed Corsair and they changed the mechanic and now it's just damage. I think that when you read that, it's definitely a nerf, but like you play the unit, and I don't even have a high level Corsair. I have like a level 9 Corsair, and I still felt like it does like a lot of damage, and I could only imagine if I had a level 15 Corsair. It's not going to do infinite damage, but like the amount of damage that it does is very strong, and then you can increase that damage with like normal damage modifiers. And so like I feel like there's a lot of things that either read really well on paper and like just in practice they're not very good, or things that read well, or things that I don't understand, like how it reads, and then it ends up being much better than my confusion when I was reading it. I think my favorite example of that has to be Night Statue. if you go back to like when prior to Night Statue coming out with talents, the update that it was gonna get talents, and I was very excited for Crystalmancer, and I was so super excited about Crystalmancer, and I was just shitting on Night Statue the entire video. I was just like, I don't even want to talk about this. This is the dumbest change. Like, nobody's gonna use this. They're taking away stuff. They're not even giving you anything. Ever since that update dropped, and I figured out how, because in that video, I didn't even understand how Sharpened Spear worked. And so I made this entirely long video about how it's the dumbest thing, it's dumb, nobody's gonna use this, and then the actual thing drops, and I actually am able to use it, and I completely understand it, and now it's the only thing I use, and I don't even use Crystalmancer. The update dropped, I was so excited to use Crystalmancer, and then immediately realized that it was terrible. That's my hot take for this video. Yell at me in the comments. Fight me in the comments. I don't think Crystalmancer is good. Fight me in the comments. Every stream, if you haven't joined one of my streams, every stream I have to point it out, because usually there's somebody in every single one of my streams that's like, use Crystalmancer, it's so good. And I always have to be like, it's not good. It's not as good as you think it is. It's only good because you don't have better things. You have a level 15 Crystalmancer and you're rocking like level 7 legendaries, and you're like, this is much better, and I can agree with that. Level 15 Crystalmancer is much better than those level 7 legendaries, but once you get level 9 legendaries, level 13 legendaries, level 11 legendaries, level 15 legendaries, like, you will never look back on Crystalmancer in any serious way. You will never be like, you know, I could push today with my max Spirit Master deck, but instead I'm gonna play Crystalmancer. But yeah, Demon Hunter's fine. And you don't need to switch to Twilight Hunting. If you're a Demon Hunter player, it's perfectly fine. I think you can, you know, try out Twilight Hunting if you really want to, but don't think that this is a specific, it's a specific nerf, to endgame players that were literally just sitting on, you know, max Demon Hunters and expecting that their best Demon Hunter was going to grow in power. But I suppose if you're using the Shadow Twin ability, it's probably good that other Demon Hunters gain marks as well, as opposed to just the one getting marks, because then all of them can be powerful. So even in that regard, I still don't think it's a nerf. And I think that you can still use it. But I will see you guys next video.